My name is Maynard Hiss, and I've signed in. When the summary of the workshops was given, none of what I was saying was adequately expressed in that. And my main interest is in the rural area. The 2050 was supposed to be the rural area and natural resource-based part of the county. And I think that the people that are in the planning department are mostly focused on urban, and they're focused on residential development, and don't even have any, ability to comprehend what it's like to be an agricultural interest, a park and recreational interest, natural resource like water resources. I don't think they have any concept of that. And I think what they use is kitchen utensils to figure out kind of how to design the urban landscape. And why I say that is because there's no requirement, for example, for agricultural to be functional within the open space. So you preserve all this open space, and what are the requirements for it to function in terms of produce goods and services for society? So in order for an agricultural person to produce agriculture, they have to make a profit. And if you have this land and you can't make a profit off of it, you're not going to grow agriculture. Now there's an incentive because you get a tax exemption to grow agriculture because you save money by it. But there's no real exemption if there's no development rights on the land. So there's no requirement for it to be a nature preserve and to be managed as a nature preserve. There's no requirement for it to be ecological infrastructure. So what you have is you say, well, we're going to save this space, but you have no land development regulations to make sure that that space is protected and provides some kind of function for society. So you don't have an urban design. I think the developers are the ones getting screwed because there's no amenities out there. They're just completely turning it into sprawl, and all these really high quality amenities like the possible greenway of the Cowpen Slough and all that could be this fantastic thing, the equivalent of Sarasota Bay. It's going to be just chopped up. But it's not going to produce agriculture, water resources, nothing. So you could have a policy that says you have to have a functional agricultural plan, natural resource plan, or park plan, or whatever, or the county could design the ecological infrastructure for there and say, this is the ecological infrastructure we want. But there's none of that. So the rural area is just getting chopped up and tossed to the side. It's just garbage. So that could be fixed with some policies. So the second thing is that I don't really care what kind of rural development you have out there, because it's not rural development. It's suburban sprawl. Let's just tell it for what it is. People want to sell their land for suburban sprawl. They can make money on it. Okay, I say that's fair enough. But you don't have to destroy it with suburban sprawl. I think there should be a requirement that it be transportation-oriented development. I don't care how you do it, but that development out there is transportation-oriented development. So I talked to a guy, Larry Grossman. He worked in Washington, and he said that when they planned the Washington suburbs and everything, originally they didn't have transportation-oriented development, and he worked on redeveloping it. We're going to have to redevelopment, or we're going to have to pay huge cost for the most ineffective uses of transportation if we don't have transportation-oriented development out there. So my requirement would be that you would have some kind of capture rate, some kind of efficiency for that infrastructure, because the developers are going to get screwed because there's not going to be capacity. And one last thing. On that map, he showed, oh, the cost to the public are really low. But if you look at University Parkway,
Please wrap up, Mr. Hiss.
our costs are humongous right now. And we don't have any, that development's not started. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hiss.